Hello everybody, it's your boy Proftrof and my neck is fucked. What the hell? Okay, and now we're back with another Mandalore video. This is Thief 2. Okay, and we watched Thief 1 last time, it was pretty interesting. So let's see Thief 2. I don't think I've ever played Thief 2, to be honest. I don't know anything about Thief 2. It looks exactly the same like Thief 1.
Oh, looks like Wells Fargo really stepped up security.
Damn.
I'll try another
cameras?
door. Well, things have changed.
Understatement? They have robots now? What is this, 40k?
Thief 2 The Metal Age came out not even a year and a half after Thief 1. This kind of sequel was not uncommon in the era. If the first game was solid enough, just build onto it. So with that in mind, I'm going to assume you saw my Thief 1 video.
Yes.
The Dark Project has a tutorial and the Metal Age does not, so I also don't want to be repeating myself. For now, I'll say that as good as Thief 1 was, 2 does some things even better. So let's get started. Sadly, the Steam version of Thief 2 is just as bad as Thief 1.
Again?
It's better on GOG, you know what New Dark is. However, at the time of this video, I believe their build is based off of Taffer Patcher. It's better than vanilla, but also outdated now. So instead of using T-Fix Lite, I'll be using T2 Fix Lite. Getting the sound is the same deal as before, so no big changes here. The one thing it does alter is actually immediate. It's the first screen you see when you're playing the game. There's a fence you can't climb, but a good friend unlocked a side door for you. But now...
Well, you can climb
it
the
doesn't matter
fence.
too much, it's still a pretty bad way in. And he never did say that you couldn't jump the fence, just that his way was better.
It's the only good way in.
So it doesn't break canon, it's still good for Wikipedia or whatever the Thief Wiki is called. It probably doesn't matter. Okay, now I can pull up the new intro.
Okay. He poured his children. Oh yeah, last game ended with us unleashing. No. We unleashed the devil, lost an eye, helped the Iron Warriors, saved the world. They gave us fake eye. Yes. How did things change so fast? Are we the same character? That none could. Creepy baby. Creepy baby. Okay, still a great intro, I guess. Wait, is
It's
this an
another
actual
cool,
intro?
dark, and stylish opening, but it conveys a lot to you as well. There's a new builder scripture and it looks like technology is being pushed massively forward. There are some dramatic changes happening in the city, but Garrett, he's still doing his thing. The story
okay.
takes place roughly a year after the events of the first game. This time only the first mission
They went from barely functioning lights to robots and cameras in a year, huh? Okay.
is really standalone and the story kicks off in the second. Your first job is to help your old friend Basso, who you might remember being unconscious in Thief 1, and once again he needs you to do all the work and help him elope. Not too much going on over there. So I'll say a bit more about what's happening in the world.
Elope?
The city only had bits and pieces of technology before, but things have come a long way. Electricity is much more available now, so the whole city is undergoing a kind of industrial revolution. The poor can have a garage door now, and the rich are becoming unfathomably fancy. It's surreal to see an office layout that looks pretty modern. For all I know, they might already have Twitch streamers. You would think the Hammers would be behind this, but not exactly.
Twitch
They've gone through a
tots.
religious schism. Not the we're gonna kill each other nonstop for 2,000 years kind. More the I don't want to play with you anymore kind. The Hammers are now completely outclassed by the Mechanist Order. The
The
Old Guard were already
Mechanist
pretty fanatic,
Order.
but these guys are something else.
It's actual 40k. Damn.
The revolution is all thanks to them, and their technology has spread into crime stopping. Combined with the City Watch crackdown, crime is almost completely eliminated.
For a price.
It is becoming a horrible surveillance state dystopia, and you don't want that. You never want that. There are tons of cameras, swarms of robots, traps, which all sounds bad, but Garrett has a new innate power. His brand new mechanical eye. Can he see through walls or tag enemies? No. You can now zoom in on stuff. That's all you need. To make matters even worse, it seems that
Goddamn, I
all
get
plant
it.
life is dying out. So the Metal Age is looking to be apocalyptic. Things are strange once again, but you should have expected that. I mean, Thief 2 also came in a trapezoid, but I didn't have that one since I had that shape covered already. I never keep it too far away from the game sphere. Graphically, Thief 2 looks a lot like Thief 1, but there have been some key improvements. For one, the character models are significantly more detailed now, but they could still add in more characters per map. The new levels can sometimes be insanely ambitious in size, as in this one could be 2 different missions big, but they went there. They've really mastered their use of lighting and shadow too, since they've now had years to work on the Dark engine. After all, Thief 1 wasn't initially going to be a stealth game, where the sequel knew exactly what it was going to be. The environments are so rich and detailed, and there's a good variety of settings you actually play in.
Bro, I kinda wanna play it now. Like, I said to myself, like a year back after playing Gothic 1, like, Gothic 1 is an amazing game. It's also a pain in the ass. If you've played Gothic 1 and you know the controls, you know what I mean, right? So I told myself, okay, as long as there are new games for me to play, you will not go back and play old ass games that probably have disgusting controls. It would piss you off. Don't do it. But then again, Mandalore comes up with these fucking videos and makes me want to go play Thief 1 and 2. I mean, I played like a mission in Thief 1 when I was a kid, but okay, I need help. Dudes that have played this recently, how bad are the controls? Is it gonna take me 2 hours to just, get the hang of the controls?
This time around they designed all the maps first, and then later made the story to accommodate them, which is why you can go from spooky cyber church to pirate ship adventure. The word that keeps coming to mind is refinement. They know it works visually, and they were really pushing what they can do. No longer is a chaos realm just inside of a tunnel. I'm not saying that every mission plays better, but visually you don't get puked on like the Thieves Guild ever again. As for the sound, it's as atmospheric as ever.
Damn. That's pretty atmospheric, brother.
The music is again tied with the ambience. There's nothing quite so burned into my brain like Victoria's theme, but there's good stuff here. It's become more pronounced and creepy.
True, and it's very dark. Couldn't they give his new eye like a Deus Ex, night vision shit? Is there no night vision goggles in Machine Universe?
My favorite has to be the Nightmare Siren.
Okay, that's creepy as hell.
Once again, they can play to their strength because they actually know what they're making this time. It really hammers the don't get caught feeling into you. On the voice acting side, Stephen Russell is killing it once again. He's playing both Garrett and the main villain this time. When I first played the game, I had no clue. As for the regular NPCs, once again they bounce around a bit. It ranges from who do we have in the office to this guy's performing his heart out.
It's as if all the plant life in the city up and died. Have you noticed that all the trees in Eastport are wilted and dead?
How come we gotta pull guard duty? Couldn't the mechanist just put more of those mechanical eyes around the place?
Because we can't be shut off as easily, you taffert.
Oh.
You gotta prick us with your sewing needles? On this side of the street, we shoot like soldiers, so don't make promises your arrows can't keep.
What?
Overall, it's great presentation. It keeps the tone and look of the first game, adds a bunch of new stuff, but doesn't twist it too far. The gameplay is similar in that there are some changes. Unfortunately for speedrunners, bunny hopping is gone. Your jumping movement is slightly slower, but more deliberate. Knocking out lights and masking your sound, that's all the same. What might change is how enemies react to it. The enemy AI is supposed to be smarter, and sometimes it is. They're more prone to noticing environmental changes like open doors. But at the same time, I found it less predictable and not in a good way. In fact, a lot of the human AI seemed a lot dumber than Thief 1.
Thought I saw something. Just the wind, I guess.
I'm not saying Dark Project enemies were geniuses or anything, but it kept—
This reminds me of the Skyrim meme. You walk right in front of him. I think I saw something. Oh, must have been the wind.
feeling like I was getting away with things that I really shouldn't have. Then sometimes the opposite would happen and a guard across the map would have ESP. I even experimented with this a bit to make sure I wasn't going crazy, and yeah. Here a guy is turned around 100 feet away and I set down Moss, but he bolts right at me. Both extremes were in a constant case, but it was definitely noticeable. This could all just be a weird, subjective thing that happened to me. I don't know. They mostly do just fine. As for the player, you do have some new tools besides the eye. Players finally give you a cheap, expendable way.
Whoa. Invisibility potion. Papyrus. Moss arrow, flare, broadhead, slow fall potion, flash bomb.
Tools besides the eye. Flares finally give you a cheap, expendable way to have some better light on you. Slow fall potions let you make sick jumps without sending your kneecaps across the street. Invisibility potions sound game breaking, but they're you a cheap, expendable way to have some better light on you. Slow fall potions let you make sick jumps without sending your kneecaps across the street. Invisibility potions sound game breaking, but they're rare and expensive. More of a get out of jail free card. There's some other stuff. Oh, the tactical frog grenade. But all the old stuff still works fine.
What?
Potions sound game breaking, but they're rare and expensive.
What did
More
I
of a
just
get
see?
out of jail free card. There's some other stuff. Oh, the tactical frog
Scouting
grenade.
orb.
But all the old stuff still works fine.
What?
Good riddance, then. Noxious things.
There are quality of life changes here and there, like showing where you've been on your map and saying when you found a secret, but the main appeal is all the new missions. Whether it's breaking into a police station or a bank heist or escaping a city, it's all about stealth. There are no curveball adventure or combat maps, sneaking is the name of the game. The strength in that is that you don't have the abrupt shift in a level's pacing because it's trying to be a different genre. The maze factor is pretty low this round and your maps are frequently filled out. There are some incredibly engaging missions in this, and they typically don't require as much hunting for petty loot. For example, in the bank heist mission you're there for evidence. The idea is that you want to be in and out because the place is swarming with security. But if you want to, you can still rob the place blind. There's an entire upper floor that you don't have to go to, but it's your freedom to try and do the Peter Panda dance to break into more stuff. It's fun because you're choosing to get more money for the next mission instead of being forced to.
But do you keep your money through missions this time? Because in the Thief one he said that it's like, if you don't spend all your money on the next mission, you lose all that cash and yeah.
Life of the Party is the gigantic mission I mentioned earlier. In this one, you climb across the city's rooftops to try and break into a skyscraper. And you could beeline right for it, there's plenty of loot inside. I mean, good god, it's huge. This could easily be its own mission. Still, you shouldn't want to rush to it because the city is full of cool stuff. There are tons of side stories and Easter eggs and treasures. The exploration is so rewarding. My favorite is when you stumble upon a little greenhouse garden. There's a spider in there and they're always a problem. So naturally you go, haha, and then it dies. Then you read a journal and it's someone's beloved pet named Long Daddy. If you load a save from before that, yeah, he's harmless. So that made me feel like a dick the first time.
Wow.
There are so many great moments like that. Unfortunately, not every mission is a winner. The worst part is it's not like a Thief Gold issue where I just don't like the map. This time around it feels like padding. And it probably was. Thief 2 was a very rushed game. As in, employees weren't bathing or sleeping for days on end rushed. They likely wanted to have the same number of missions that Thief Gold had, but they didn't have time for that. So here are some examples. Ambush is a map set in the city streets, and I don't like it that much. It's a good premise, a cool idea for a map, but they don't do much with it. It's not a grand caper across the streets or anything. That said, they bring the map back to have you do a trailing mission. It's not like Assassins where it's leading you to a cool place. This is nothing but following. You could take the last minute of this mission and put it in the next map and it would be a lot better. This whole thing could have been condensed into a cutscene and you wouldn't miss out. Later they straight up bring back the Lost City map from Thief, but now it's being excavated. The goal is finding and kidnapping someone, but it has some annoying mechanics attached to that. I wouldn't mind some Lost City Indiana Jones, but it's the same map from 1. In fact, in a change I didn't like, Gold Edition already added human enemies into that level, which makes the idea here feel even more we did this already. That still has nothing on this. Casing the Joint is a ghost and scouting mission. You go into a large mansion to hunt for secret passages and fill your map out. It's an intricate map and I do like it. The issue is you're preparing for your next mission, which is the exact same map.
Oh my god, so you go inside of the...
security now and treasures to steal that have unique challenges to them. It makes me wonder what the point of the previous map was. Ghosting it could have just been an expert difficulty option. It's not very tense because you've been all over the place by now and you know where the secret passages are. Also in the vanilla game, there are unaligned objects and lights facing the wrong way. And these are the last 2 missions before the finale. It's disappointing. Despite all that, the rest is fantastic. Every single mission is geared for sneaking. So I would say that Thief 2 is a better stealth game than Thief 1, and for some people it's the ultimate stealth game. The experience is so much more focused. That said, I do miss the horror element since Thief 1 had a lot more of that. I would have liked another Bone Horde or Haunted Cathedral kind of adventuring map. The Metal Age doesn't have anything like that, and the real tragedy is that it was going to. Thief 2 Gold had started development. There were going to be several new missions, including a horror necromancer themed one, and some existing stuff would have been retooled as well. Sadly, the studio died before all that happened. Looking Glass really was a lot like Jesus. They weren't around long, but they pulled off some genuine miracles before being killed off way too soon. It just sucks, and it makes the game's shortcomings hurt even more. If only they had some more time. But most of what they did make plays great. As for the story, it still has the same great environmental storytelling. Like, the Mechanist faction still claims to revere the Builder, but then you go to their sites, and the Builder is in darkness. He's gone from revered to being in a storage unit. There are good, strong moments like that, but a lot more is told to you directly. There's a lot more intricacy to the plot this time, so it's understandable. They don't dump too much at you that you couldn't put together yourself. You're still expected to have a functioning frontal lobe. There isn't more reading because it's dumbed down. The story kicking off sooner means there's more...
Now this makes me wonder if I should play this game. I think I failed that requirement pretty handily.
Don't dump too much at you that you couldn't put together yourself. You're still expected to have a functioning frontal lobe. There isn't more reading because it's dumbed down. The story kicking off sooner means there's more events and characters to develop. I'm not going to go play by play or anything, but there is one character I want to focus on. So if you don't want spoilers, go to here.
I'm good.
How can I not talk about Karis?
Karis?
Our Mechanist Messiah has so much going on. He's an amazingly well done villain. Karis is the founder of the new religion and a certified genius. He's responsible for inventing the cameras, robots, and other wonders. He's shaping an entire golden race to be in his image. His power and influence in the city is massive. He's been growing a god complex, and it's not too crazy with his resume. What's the personality of a mastermind inventor like that? Well, he's a massive dweeb.
Mandalore did the thing I do in stealth games. Once, if the enemy comes too close in order to discover you, just look the other way. Hope they don't see you. If you don't see them, they don't see you.
Well, he's a massive dweeb. He's talented, but not portrayed as being suave. He's writing a new religious scripture, but parts of it are him complaining in his diary about the nobles making fun of him behind his back. They want favor to get to his inventions, and they don't really care what he has to say. Karis now hates organic life and wants it destroyed completely. And his whole plan starts by giving the nobles golden slaves that he's made. He's turned innocent people into these things. And unfortunately for the nobility, they're Trojan horses. Instead of having some kind of shooting, he's filled them all with a corrosive gas. It reacts violently to organic matter. Most of the plants that are in the city are in the curated gardens of the nobles, so that'll amplify the effect. He genuinely thinks he's in the right to do this, too. He's so narcissistic that he's made all of his robots sound like him and calls them his children. Even his own followers can get creeped out by them.
Not the first to be afeard of them, for their visages wrought to strike terror into the enemies of Kalas, or those who might consider becoming enemies.
Well, and it might, for it near strikes terror into mine own heart.
But he doesn't care what they think anyway. He already sees himself as above the Builder.
What the Builder wants, Karis makes.
He's fun, but there's still an underlying tragedy to him. I always wondered what happened to him to make him hate life that much.
The fuck is
he probably got made fun of for his voice. I can get that. I had to take speech classes as a kid. But statistically, I shouldn't have been born, so I'm not complaining. Maybe he was so smart he couldn't relate to anybody. Or some combination of stuff. Whatever it is, he's a huge asshole now. Garrett ends up teaming up with Victoria to stop him. She's taken over from the Woodsy Lord since he got tricked to death. While the Hammers dislike pagans, the Mechanists are outright genocidal towards them. An old enemy is a new ally once again. This adds on to the mythos of the series too. Last time the pagan ways were disabling things, but this time it's the Builders. When it comes to nature versus civilization, you can't just wipe one out and let the other one go unchecked. Garrett has been keeping the balance whether he really wants to or not. The final mission is a trial of endurance. It's a large map and really feels like a test of your skills. What I hate is the beginning part where you have to do IKEA shit, which means gathering some parts up and assembling them into what you need. I hate doing this every single time. But then you have the real challenge. Jesus Christ, it's such a death maze. The Keepers didn't prepare me for this. Oh, that's right. It's a satisfying ending, and it teases another game to come. That did happen, but it would be under a new studio. Some of the old guard would return, but it's a very different game compared to 2 and 1. Still, Thief 2 is an excellent game that's well worth your time. It's easy to see why people swear the sequel is the better game. Even with its focus tightened in and some vastly better levels, I still personally prefer Thief 1. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure why. There's something about its atmosphere and supernatural story that I guess I find more appealing, which is saying a lot because I like Thief 2's elements so much. Even if you don't like the base game much, it's worth it for the fan missions. I feel a similar way about Doom 1 and 2. The game will be 69 cents for the next few days as the whole trilogy is still on sale.
Wow.
Next time I'll finish up the trilogy. This will take me a little longer, I have some sneaky upgrading to do and... Wait, what's happening?
What the fuck was that? Is that Thief 3?
Wait, what's happening?
It's third person? Cool. Interesting.
I've got to be careful.
Kinda wanna play
Next
it
thing I
now,
know, I'll be
to be
doing
honest.
fan mission videos. Which ending do you prefer in Deus Ex? Oh, that's Helios, like, easily. The Illuminati plan doesn't make anything better, and Tong's logic is very flawed. A new Dark Age won't stop powerful people from just doing the same thing again eventually. Which Wasteland is better, Fallout 3 Capital or New Vegas Mojave? If you mean like site exploring, that definitely goes to Fallout 3 because it's Washington, D.C.
Yes.
compared to a desert. That's like the one big thing Fallout 3 has over New Vegas. The setting of New Vegas has a hell of a lot more interesting things going on, so there it is. Excited about the upcoming Factorio expansion. Oh god, give me strength. Do you think Thief games could benefit from the RTX treatment? Yeah, I'm sure they could. As long as they didn't do what they did for Quake 2 RTX. The weapon and level and item reflections are cool, but they really change the mood of some of the areas in it. If Thief 2 had whatever that was done to it, it would probably be pretty bad. Maybe New Blood or Night Dive will bite off of Square Enix one day, but I don't think so. We'll see.
Strange breaths of air.
Fuck is that? Okay, well, I'm curious. What do you guys think? Thief 1 or Thief 2? Should I play them? Would you recommend someone in 2021 to play them? Are the controls shit? Are they decent? Let me know. Anyway, a quick thank you to the Patreons and the YouTube members. Pedro Martinez, Commands, Queen, Swastic, Senior Hill to Lemon and Moon, Ike Dasher, Ronic, now James Bizonet, Ryuge Hideki 25, Malcolm Muzio, Nicola Gergiev, Leroy, Olivia, Sangri, the Aziz. Thank you all for the support, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye, everybody.